hot. Sorry.
You get it?
Y'all know. She over here smacking on her Kit Kat.
Oh my God.
Smacking on your Kit Kat. So,
listen, it's good.
Anyway, y'all, as you guys can see, we have a special guest with us today. This is my cousin. Yes, my actual blood cousin. Our mamas and sisters.
Yeah.
Stacey.
Hey, Stacey.
Say hey,
everybody.
Where's my clap thing? See, Rico.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers.
Probably the wrong one.
Huh? What happened?
See how you do.
See.
Told him he's supposed to have his clap thing on. See?
Oh, there you
The
go.
cheers.
The cheers.
Can I have cheers?
That's what you got. That's the
Yeah,
audience.
that's a crowd.
You know what?
It wasn't that loud.
You know, you ain't said nothing yet.
Make it loud.
You ain't
it's gonna be
said nothing
loud
yet.
on there.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Lord help him.
Carry on. I'm sorry, Mr. Producer.
All right, so today's topic is mental health.
Yes, mental health awareness, mental illness, mental abilities, all of that stuff dealing with the mental.
Okay.
And how it's affecting our
how it
families
affects our
and
family.
our communities.
Okay.
And the importance of mental health care.
Correct. So, what you said before we were online, do you feel like people use that as an excuse to be
For bad behavior?
Yes.
Most definitely.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely. I worked in the mental health field for many, many years in different capacities. And, you know, it's a very convenient excuse to fall on.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
we all, regardless to our mental status, we all know right or wrong to a certain degree. And I do believe that, you know, a lot of people who suffer from mental illness can't help some of their behaviors.
Right.
But I do also believe that a lot of times it's used for
As
an excuse for bad behavior, to get out of trouble for bad behavior. So I absolutely agree with that.
So I've never had to deal with a lot of these issues. This is close to home for us, so that's why I wanted to bring it up. Without going into too much detail. I mean, everybody knows us, is going to know who we're talking about. But it hits close to home. And I'm seeing all these little videos, and on Instagram, there was a guy arguing with his mother about because he wanted to go outside. I don't know if you saw this video.
Messed up her
I
house?
heard about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, you've dealt with that.
Oh, yeah. I have
been dealing with it
dealt
for years.
Yeah.
And it's easy for, and this, when I say, I don't want to say ghetto, but when I say my cousin, like if I got into a fight when I was a kid, if I knew I could call somebody, it would be this one. So she's not like
passionate.
a punk.
I'm passionate about who I love. So I'm fighting for my family, period.
So when people be like, well, I wish my kid would do this, I'm like, no, y'all don't know what that mental illness does to a person. You can beat them all day. It ain't gonna solve nothing.
Okay, great.
It ain't gonna solve nothing.
That's great. That's
It
a
just makes
great,
you tired.
great example, because I'm wanting to tell somebody all the time, like, beat his ass, he'll be all right. Fuck.
No.
Beat him. But when you get to a point where your kid takes these beatings and look at you like,
And they try to start beating you.
that's nothing.
Notice I said try.
Then there's something more that you have to dig deeper into to figure out what's wrong.
Right. I really feel as an adult, and I got beatings as kids. All right, my mother was like the whipping queen.
Yeah.
Okay?
And my mother wasn't.
You know,
exactly
but
opposite.
Yeah, but I honestly feel that you know, corporal punishment or spankings or whatever like that, it should be used so sparingly. Like, I believe that is overused. I feel bad when I have to spank my children. You know what I'm saying? Because these are little people, and I'm beating on them. You know what I'm saying?
She used to be, and you might not remember this, but when she has 4 children, so I'm just putting that out there. It's 4. I have none biologically. What's our age difference? Now
4 years.
It's only 4 years, but we was growing up, it seemed like a decade. So when Stacey first had kids, she's like, oh no, I'm not gonna hit my kids. Oh no, like when we do Thanksgiving, we had Thanksgiving dinner or whatever, and the kids running around and everything, and I'd be like, come here. You know, I'll snatch a kid up quick.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh no, don't hit the kids.
Let him express himself.
That was her favorite. Let him express himself. Nah.
Okay, he gonna express.
Now one of them express themselves a little too much.
But you know what? I have extremely intelligent,
that is
extremely
true.
creative.
They are
children.
very intelligent.
Because
it's a spectrum
yeah.
with mental illness. I'm not being funny, but it's a spectrum. In my eyes, you can be mental illness doesn't mean you're dumb. Nobody's saying that you're dumb.
Most smartest,
these are the most intelligent people.
Yes,
have a mental illness. And this is bipolar, schizophrenia. It's not
ADHD. All of that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start saying the words and not having such a negative
oh, this motherfucker retarded.
Right.
Because
we got to stop doing that.
That's what they say.
We can't
we do it.
I'm telling you.
Can't say the word retarded.
I said it because that's what's being said.
I'm gonna pull up famous people with mental
that are
illness.
retarded. I'm sorry.
Shit.
She said it. I'm saying it like this is what.
Just kidding. Mentally ill. But Jennifer Lewis, one of my favorite actresses, she's bipolar.
Yeah.
Phenomenal woman and Blackish. Mama in Blackish.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know who Jennifer Lewis is. Yeah. I absolutely adore her. Her comedic timing is priceless.
Yeah. The important thing is to recognize your illness and try to correct it. If your parents can't do it, and as you become an adult and you recognize that something isn't correct within your stability in life.
And you have to be able to realize that as a parent that something's wrong too.
I mean, as a parent, but some parents don't know because again, that goes
ain't nothing wrong with little Timmy.
Because mind you, back in the day, the adults, the parents that they had, they knew nothing about this.
Right. And still to this day, no parent wants to
admit that
their
wrong.
Children has mental health issues.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a hard pill to swallow.
And I was one of those people who had to check myself and realize that I had some issues at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I suffered a lot of things in my life, and the way we were raised, we took it to church.
Yeah,
we took it to God. Yeah. And I'm just like, I am taking this to God, and nothing is happening. I am hollering. I am crying. I am trying every religion. I'm praying in 3 different languages.
Yeah.
I am really trying to get my mind right, and I just couldn't. I did not understand why it seemed like it was working for everybody else. But it was not working for me.
Right.
So finally, within the last couple of years, I decided that I was going to seek therapy.
Correct.
And it took me a while because it is a stigma. It is embarrassing to have to admit it. And even sitting down in front of a therapist is the most awkward thing in the world, sitting in front of a stranger and trying to rattle off your problems.
But let
me tell you. Let me tell you what therapy did for me. And I recommend therapy to everybody. And people say the same thing to me that I used to say. I don't need therapy. I'm going to take it to God. It's going to be all right. I just need a little rest. Or, a whole plethora of excuses.
Yeah.
But when I finally broke down and found a therapist, it absolutely changed my life.
Yeah.
It's not that you lay on a couch and you talk to this person and they give you the solutions to all your problems. That is not what a therapist does. And I use it when I'm explaining therapy to people. I explain it like this. It's like having a 1,000-piece puzzle. Like if this tabletop, 1,000 pieces in a bag.
Yeah.
And somebody just threw it at you and was like, you need to put this together. And you just like, how the fuck am I going to put this together?
Yeah.
What a therapist does is they help you sort out those puzzle pieces and they help you build it in pieces. Let's start with the outline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's find all the silver spots. Let's find all the pieces that had a little red specks. Let's look at the picture and see, is this is the picture that you have of your life. Let's keep looking at this picture and looking at this puzzle.
And does that piece fit there or there?
And does that piece fit there?
And
but they don't give you none of the answers.
No. You figure it out.
You figure it out. But the way they help you to figure it out is that's the only thing I can equate it to is like a puzzle.
I'm still getting over this little pill.
I did something when I didn't even have Jaden at the time. I was like maybe 19 or 20 and I worked at the post office and I was like, I need some time off. I was doing it because I really wanted to just be off. But I was like, I need to see a therapist. not knowing that I really needed to see a therapist. So my job was like, well, you have to get a note from your therapist and all of this. So I had to go. And I went. And baby, when I tell you, this white man took me down through there, I said, well, what the hell? I'm crying and crying. He's like, what's wrong? And at the time, mind you, I'm 19, 20 years old. What problems do I really have?
Right.
I don't have a kid. I'm at home. But me and my mother's relationship wasn't the best. It was cool, but it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him, like, my issue is that we don't get along, and so I'm going through it, and then I'm just crying, and I'm listening to myself speak to him and expressing, like, all these feelings, and I'm like, I never even really knew how deep it was really hurting me that I wasn't connected to my mother the way I should have been versus being connected to my father. And it broke me down so bad. I'm like, well, damn, this really hurt. Like, I left out feeling hurt. But hurt.
But you was relieved? It was like a relief?
It was like a relief of hurt. So it was like my hurt was cool with me because it was gone. But I realized that, damn, I really got some issues.
Yeah.
Because I went in there thinking, like, I just need to go ahead and get this excuse. But he broke me down.
That. Yeah. A lot of people do that for work. I want to get some time off. Or I need a mental health break. And you trick yourself. You be like, okay, you need it, but you need the paperwork, so you got to go anyway.
Yeah.
And then you find, like, dang, I really
needed it.
I really needed that. I went to therapy once, work-related, something when I worked at Chrysler, I think. And I can't even remember why I went. I didn't stay, though. That's the thing. It's about the consistency for me.
Yeah.
I went because I had to go for this work-related thing.
Right.
I think I maybe went twice. Had good sessions, talked to the lady, but y'all know me, I know everybody. So I ended up finding out somebody knew the theory. I just felt uncomfortable at that point. I was like, dang, well, she know the homeboy. I'm like, she probably telling all my business. I don't know. I didn't trust it.
Okay.
I didn't trust it. So I'm still like that. To this day, I know too many people.
Yeah, but it is a remarkable thing. I'm going to tell y'all what my therapist, one thing my therapist helped me figure out, and it's one thing that we all go to therapists about, is our relationships, our personal relationships. And I really wanted to figure out why my relationships were not productive. Like, I would go so far in a relationship and I'd be like, this ain't for me. And you know how I am. I meet somebody and I'm just like, this is the love of my life.
We are all like that.
And 3 months later, I'm like,
we are all in. I really think that's in our family. We all in. We'll give you our all, but then we be like, we can cut you off real fast.
Yeah, patience is just at 0. But this is what she told me to realize. She asked me what was my ideal man, and I always would say a man like my father. You know, because I had a great dad. My dad was sweet. He was caring. He was protective over me.
She's about to cry.
No, I don't.
I thought she was about to cry.
No, I just said it was a no for me.
I love my father. You know,
no, she loves you.
My first love was my dad. You know what I'm saying? So all my life, that was just like my
ideal man.
That my ideal man was like my father, and
really,
like I love my dad. My dad was.
I love my daddy, but I don't want no man like my dad.
I mean, that's what I just said. Like,
but I always end up with men like my dad.
My dad was a sweetheart. He used to clean my ears and cut my toenails and.
Oh, so you need somebody to cater to you.
My daddy used to just,
right?
Why you straight so far? So her friend saying how she straight so far is what she's saying. Now.
Anybody I've been in a relationship with play with my feet.
Oh.
Are you talking about the poly? You're talking about the poly side of?
Well, yeah,
so my cousin is very
like
polyamorous.
Well, I don't have.
She doesn't. She's fluid
to it.
She's fluid. Is that it? You don't.
Are you
comfortable saying that?
You like who you like when
she
you
likes.
like.
I like who I like when I like them, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Like
she really.
I live my life.
Cause we be like, we don't never know. She comes to the picnic with a girl, a guy. We like,
we don't know what it's about.
Welcome to the family. We don't know. We just open. We love everybody.
That's my family. They just love everybody, and they good. I don't bring no drama to the family or nothing like that. We're not anymore.
Well, not
years
anymore.
Years ago, and I did.
Well,
that don't count.
That don't count.
Yeah.
We talk about that later.
Yeah, we gonna put that.
You sure?
Yeah.
Put on the show.
But your therapist
I'm liable to bring it. My therapist, one thing my therapist told me made me realize was that I am not the problem.
Okay.
I am not the problem.
Okay.
That's the one thing. Yeah.
Cause you might be the problem.
You might be the problem. And I went to her thinking I might have been the problem.
You might be the problem.
Yeah, cause you might be the problem.
No, I'm saying a person can tell you might be the. I'm saying you might be the.
Her therapist told her she wasn't.
No, she helped me realize that I wasn't the problem.
Right, you are.
I might be.
Okay, that's where we was going with it now.
But as far as the father thing goes, getting back to that.
Yeah, sorry.
I love
we going around.
She had asked me to describe how my father treated me, and I described it to you. And she said, "Now imagine you being a grown woman. Think about your mom. Now, would you like to be treated like that as an adult woman?" And I thought about that. Well, yeah, I want my daddy to treat me like he my daddy, but do I want my husband to treat me like that?
Exactly.
And I was like, you know what?
Exactly.
That's where I've been fucking up.
It makes a difference.
That's where I've been messing up.
You think that
because I always wanted to find someone that was loving like my father.
I'm not calling nobody. I told one nigga
hollering daddy and
one nigga told me like call me daddy. I'm like, nigga, my daddy is dead. Like I'm
call me daddy. I said, my daddy name is Willie George. I'm not calling you. No, sir. I'll call you Poppy. Sound better.
You know,
get it?
Can't call you daddy.
I'm not even call you Zaddy.
I'm going to call him daddy.
Hey, big Pop.
I'm going to call him daddy.
You put the D there, but I ain't put the D.
I'm going to say a lot.
Because you like ladies to call you daddy? It depends on which one. It depends on which angle they in. Oh, shoot.
I prefer daddy over anything. I don't like zaddy.
I like Poppy. If Poppy come out, if you can make me speak Spanish, you doing a lot.
Poppy ain't gonna come out natural.
Right, that don't come out natural. But you can make me say Poppy.
Yeah. I ain't calling nobody.
Probably trying to be funny too, because you know my last girlfriend was 24.
Yeah, it's a little shade. No, he was real close.
Oh wait,
Carly is
24. How did that go?
Daddy.
Well, you know, how old are you?
His business. That's your business. That's your business. 25.
She was a little young.
Backwards. But that's fine.
But women age faster. Women mature faster than men.
I'm 47.
Yeah.
I'm 48 now.
Yep. We a year apart. So
I didn't like older men when I was in my 20s.
I did.
I loved them.
I didn't.
But okay, do you want to delve into that?
Yeah,
you think that has something to do with your past?
Mm-mm.
You want to talk about that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we ain't gonna talk about that.
I'm different.
She ain't ready for that yet.
Older women, younger women, my age, all of them.
I've always preferred older men. Y'all, anybody that watches this knows that I've always preferred older men.
Definitely.
And my dad asked me that one time. When I got older, he asked me. He said, "You feel like you have a daddy complex, like cause that's why you like the older men?"
Like, you have
and I said, I never looked at it like that. I liked older men because I like leadership. My daddy had leadership.
Yeah.
He may not have been home, and he may or may not like me saying that, but my mom and dad, I grew up in a household that it was your Uncle Willie, traditional household. We sat at the table together. We ate dinner together.
Uncle Willie went out and worked. He paid the bills. Auntie stayed home and took care of.
No, Auntie stayed home for a minute, but she worked too.
Yeah, but she mainly took care of
She
y'all.
took care of home.
She
wanted to be a mama. She said, I wanted my kids, and there's men that wanted kids, and
we got a
family. They made that work.
Okay.
But the traditional part, yeah, I grew up like that. So it took me looking for a mate. When I got older, I looked for maturity in a man, like a man that could take care of me. And now I'm looking at like, is that the right thing to look at?
Well,
I think like
you shouldn't take care.
From my experience with that situation, though, it's like, there's nothing wrong with dating a younger woman or being with a younger woman, but when a woman is that much younger, I believe it's like, at least for me, it's not for me.
Right.
Because it's like, then I got like 4 of my children was older than her.
Yeah.
It's rough. So it's like,
trying to get at her.
But sometimes it's like this was somebody who I used to work with. So we worked together, and then, certain things, y'all get cool, you hang out. But then she cutting to me. Like, we dibble and dab here and there. You ever think about taking me serious? Then when you get to a certain age and going through certain things, and you do see a certain drive in somebody, I'm like, man, I ain't doing nothing right now. Let me see.
Totally different.
Yeah, like give her a chance. Give her a chance.
After my last relationship, though, it was like real soon. We was hanging out, so I kind of tried it for a minute, but I'm like, no, certain stuff wasn't lining up. So it ended up to me being more or less like, I can coach you, but only so much. I don't need somebody I just need to coach. I need somebody I can build with, somebody who can stimulate my mind.
That
also,
needs me there.
Not just a physical thing. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I basically let her know, like, certain stuff that you're looking for in your life is not what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. So you need to be more focused on this, that, and that. So I end up giving her advice. So I feel like unless you one of weak ass dudes who just want to try to manipulate a woman or try to put her out there, you're not gonna really feel comfortable being in that situation. She asked me to give her a try. I gave her a try. I wasn't feeling that, but I did like the way I broke it off. I basically still was, you know, making sure that she was straight, she's secure or whatever. I ended up giving her a little card. Make sure you get back and forth to work. Gave her a couple $1,000.
So you like daddy?
So you know,
but
you should do that. If they staying with you, they staying with you, living with you or whatever. So I gave her something so she can get on her feet
and go.
So I gave her good advice the whole time.
But you do understand all that's doing is making her like you even more.
Correct. That part, and that's the excuse of women dating older men.
But he's still doing all this for me.
That's why
he care about me. He's still doing all this for me.
I'm gonna date an older man because he's still gonna take care of me.
That's the
regardless.
severance package, though. So it's different. It's not like you're gonna do it forever.
Because guess what?
As long as the contract is clear, then yes, that's what we're doing this for me to leave. Yeah. But don't just.
She about to move to Texas.
Oh, okay. All right. Look at you.
Big shit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go out too. I can't. I'm a whole cam now.
You going to Dallas?
But I may be going with y'all.
I know. We don't have to think about this.
Come on.
I'm serious.
I'm dead ass. You know.
I already know we both moved. Her sister there. I was there.
In Dallas?
And you.
I'm going.
Yep.
As soon as the boy across the stage.
I don't know if we're trying to peel the twins away from my mom is going to be the hard part.
Oh, she can come too.
She ain't going away.
Anywho, but Rico, that's one of the reasons why a lot of younger women date older men, because still, guess what? That was a lesson learned for her. And you looked out, because when I was 19, I dated somebody who was damn near 30, and he was in the streets and all of that, but he took great care of me.
When you 20 with an older man,
like he was like, well, what you need, he and still to this day, like, I'm
doing
like,
nothing but going to Nordstrom's, going back in them days.
But I respected
just go get you some shopping.
But still to this day, it was like, damn, he looked out. Yeah, he did what he was. It's not like
supposed to do.
Not even supposed, but it was just like he did what was necessary to keep me around, to make me see. But I appreciated that, because it was like, if I had dated some nigga that was my age, he wasn't doing that. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
At 20 years old, wasn't no niggas.
But I'm like at 46 with no biological children. I keep saying biological because I have kids. Y'all just think it's not biological.
Right.
That depends on the caliber of dude too, though. Because to be honest, like when I was like my life is much different now. Mm-hmm. But when I was like 16, 17, 18, and I was deep off into like some street stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the woman who I have the 3 children by, the son and twin daughters. Yeah, she was Sunni Muslim and got married off when she was young. Mm-hmm. When she broke away from that, we ended up getting together.
Right.
I already knew her. She just disappeared from school when she was like in 8th grade or something.
She
started having babies.
She was married.
But when she broke off from that, and it's like, even at that young age, I remember the conversations that we would have at the park and stuff like that, pushing on the swing, all the innocence. So I stepped in as a 16, 17-year-old and helped her raise her son. When we got together, her son was 1 and her twins was newborn, and she left
at 17.
Yeah, she left the Arab dude, the Sunni Muslim. She was mixed with Arabic. So her mother had, you know what I'm saying,
that connection,
some type of arrangement that her mother had put together. So I kind of helped her get away from that. Like, I was beefing with the Arabs and everything.
I was about to say she was mixed with. Is she black? I'm sorry.
She mixed with Arabic.
She's black though.
Her mother was Indian.
That's interesting.
And her father was Arabic.
That's
she wasn't like that. Dangerous.
You know,
that's
then
dangerous.
Her mother, it's a lot. Her mother used to be.
That's a lot.
Her mother ended up on drugs. She used to be tricking and doing different stuff. Mm-hmm. And then it's like she don't even know which Arabic was her real father. Oh, you could look at her and tell she's Arabic. But it's like her mother was tricking with a lot of them.
Your mama's on crack.
So it's a deep situation behind it. Like her sister was teasing her, talking about you a bastard of 1,000 men and all this type of stuff.
She went through a lot.
But because of her situation and my father being on drugs, we kind of bonded as
Off
children.
Of that, yeah,
exactly.
So when I seen what was going on, I stepped in, and I was like 16, 17-year-old, helping her raise a son and twin daughters. Then she had a son and twin daughters by me.
Right.
So even at that young age, I still was providing and doing things the same way I did with the younger girl. I've done that when I was younger too. Right. It's just the way that I was raised.
So you think that's your that's your?
I'm just
trying to get out of that now.
I'm getting out of certain things, but I don't want to get out of being a good, understanding person. Right. And I'm just not no dude who just ain't shit.
Exactly.
I would look out for people. I help people. I help men. I help women. I help family. But when I feel someone's taking advantage of me, that's when I shut that shit off and switch up. Yeah. But I want to help everybody that I can. And some people might be attracted to that also. But when I'm helping somebody, I want to also help you see something that's inside of you, because I'm not going to be there forever.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like when you help somebody, you still got to give them the advice to be able to do the stuff on their own, because I'm not going to be there forever, no matter who it is. Right.
Yeah, gotta teach you. I ain't trying to teach nobody. If she didn't raise her son the first time, I do not have time to re-raise him. And I don't have time. I am not a daycare center. I'm not a home for unraised men. You know, if your mama did not teach you to be a man, I'm just gonna push on.
I think it's different coming from a woman and a man. In the sense,
well, some women will stick around and raise them.
They will, but it's like
it don't work. I think the word raise is strong.
Right on.
No, it's raise. I was like,
well,
it's
raise. Can rock them a little.
But that's okay. So that's the same thing with women that are expecting a man to look out for them. Are they wrong?
Yeah,
do they need to be raised?
Who? Wait a minute. Repeat that.
What you said? What she said? What she said?
No, I said so. It's a double standard. So with the women, it's okay for them.
Sometimes the man got to raise them too.
Correct.
Sometimes he got to tell her to watch that pissy cat. Sometimes he got to tell her,
So a man is okay. It's okay for him to raise her, but she can't raise him.
No, that's not what.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I don't need. I'm saying for myself.
I don't need nobody to tell me to watch my cat. You know,
some women out there do, because we all walked into the women's bathroom, so we know.
It wasn't me though.
A lot of them need to be told.
What I agree with her, what she was saying was, you do sometimes have to re-raise them, because at some point, and so
if they mama was messed up,
I'm about to dive a little bit, okay?
Let's go
because when you're married,
never been married myself, but I've heard a lot of married people say, you know, they put their man first and not the children. You should, and you've been married how many times?
Hold on.
I ain't never put my husband first.
When you put your husband
got divorced
first.
No, I ain't never put my. Well, you know what? Wait a minute.
I ain't get it out now.
Let me elaborate. Let me let her get it out, then I'm gonna elaborate. Let me let her get it out, and then I'm gonna elaborate.
Yes. Yeah. I want to see this.
So when you put your husband first and your kids are second, and you tend to him so much that you're not raising your kids properly, mind you.
See, I don't think
I'm telling you.
I think it's a balance.
It should be a balance, but a lot of people who don't, just like she said, women don't get the proper attention, you know, because the woman is so focused on the husband, or, you know, I got to give him all this attention because I don't want him to leave me. I don't want him to leave the family and this, that, and third. So I'm focused on my husband, but here's my kids falling to the wayside. And you may have more than one, so you leave your older kids to raise your younger kids sometimes. Does that make any sense to you?
That's kind of like, from a male's point of view, though, it's like, that shit's kind of twisted. I'm not saying, like, hold up, I can understand what you saying and what she's saying, but it depends on the dynamic of the man and the woman.
And I understand
when it comes to the point where you're putting the man first and like neglecting the children, that ain't the right way. If somebody's saying that they put their husband first, it's supposed to be the husband and wife. They're running the family and everything together. Correct. So you put each other first because the way that you're running the household, but in actuality, it's like you're really putting the woman and man to the woman and man actually are supposed to together. They're putting the children first.
So let's even go.
You know what I'm saying? They're coming together on the trust, but they're actually putting the children first.
So within
if they're
our
working
new day
together.
and age in life and how shit is going, I understand that. So listen, within our new day and age and how shit is going, most people who maybe get married now have kids prior to.
Right.
So when someone says, "Oh, the stepchild is being put first," it sounds like jealousy. You get what I'm saying? Like, well, if that's his daughter and he's taking care of her, that's not him putting her first or her. I'm telling you. Because
in whatever relationship I'm in, if he or she has kids,
those
kids
are my
come
kids.
first.
And yes.
My kids come first. Now, when you're talking about the big piece of chicken, whoever put the chicken on the table is the one who get the big piece of chicken.
If I'm making plates, I'm gonna make sure my husband plate is nice. Get the big piece my of kids, I know how much my kids gonna eat.
But when you talk about who's going to eat first, you know, it just depends. You know what I'm saying?
Why do we always eat last? We serve everybody.
See, that depends on the man.
See what I'm saying? We was taught to serve everybody.
I'm a man and I'm a provider.
Last.
I don't give a fuck if I eat first. I can eat last. Now, if we having a barbecue and you go fix some other nigga plate before you fix mine, that's a problem. I'm just saying, as a real man, I'm a provider.
Yeah.
So that's the
even
thing.
If you put my
we're
plate
gonna
to the
put
side,
the children first together. Yeah. No matter if I married you and you already had children. I just said I raised son of twin daughters that wasn't even mine, and I was a
real
child.
man ain't gonna sit there and eat while your kids ain't.
But a lot of I don't know.
That's some goofy ass niggas.
Goofy, you know, it's just goofy.
But I'm also
real man.
I also say this. I don't know how a lot of people gatherings go.
But I'm saying a real man to me is somebody who's a provider. He stand on certain shit.
To point out to a woman that she needs to put her kids first. Don't set a plate in front of me and your kids are sitting over there waiting to eat.
Because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of gatherings that I've been to in my family and friends and all of that shit, we're gonna feed these kids first.
Yeah, and get them out the way.
And that's
out the way, right?
Get them out the way because they're gonna be in the way. All right, the kids ate. All right, now everybody else gonna
like eat. I said, I don't have kids, so I look at things a little differently sometimes. Whether it's nothing like nobody's opinion is right or wrong. It's not. It's opinion.
Right.
Nobody's right and nobody's wrong.
Think of it as the times of Cam right now.
I am.
You know, ain't nobody coming in there and Cam sitting there ready to eat and you gotta fit.
She ain't your face.
I don't picture it like that.
Jumped on her. She had a chance to think about it.
Let me make this baby
I don't picture it like that.
That's
what y'all looking at it at the worst case scenario. Like,
no, it's not worst case scenario.
I'm looking at it like if it's a family cookout and we all together, family together. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not talking about when she get older. Maybe she's like 5 or something. You mean? The baby. Because I'm like, right now,
if we at the family barbecue,
and right now,
know we sending the kids to auntie and mama to eat.
Exactly, so we don't even deal with them.
But I'm saying y'all gonna make them. The kids gonna get. I don't know.
So it's hard for me to say that. I'm gonna make sure my man got a plate.
What she was saying. I'll let you answer me the question in a minute because I don't know exactly what the question is, but I want to speak on something she was saying. To me, it's a difference between a man, a real man, a real nigga, and all that type of shit. But what I'm saying is like the example that they were giving, that was just an example.
Right.
It's not necessarily just about the food and all that. Far as even if you don't have any children, to me, a real man is gonna be a man who I don't just want you for your body.
Right.
I want you as far as your mind. I really care about you. So if we deal with each other or not, I still have your best interests.
Right.
So it's not just like on some selfish stuff. If I really care about you, or even if I don't, it could be somebody who I don't even care about like that. Just me as a man, period. I'm gonna have people's best interests.
My mother is watching for the first time ever. She said the kids come first.
Thank you.
But that don't just because my mama said it don't mean it's right.
Well,
we agree to disagree.
Let me tell you why.
And that's why all of y'all are single.
I understand what you're saying.
And that's fine. You too, bitch. Now at the end of the day.
My mama watching this. My mama don't like that word, bitch.
I'm sorry.
Don't call me a bitch.
I'm sorry, mama. But guess what?
She meant it in love. That's just how she talks.
Because at the end of the day, I know if you or her had Jaden or Robbie had Jaden gonna.
You can tell. Look, I need one of y'all in
the kids come first at auntie house.
Even y'all Marlon, the oldest.
About the kids
I ain't never said the kids first.
Because listen, that's just you.
I ain't never did it.
Because guess what her granny. Guess what? Because guess what your granny said. Your granny made sure Jaden. Oh please. Jaden definitely ate before y'all did, if anything ever happened.
But we didn't care.
See what I'm saying?
We didn't care.
The kid.
He's a kid, so we like, go ahead. It's fine.
And that's
how the man should be.
And
I get what you're saying. That's how a man can be. But I'm not tripping
guess what
on a man that's be like, if I fix him his plate first,
so let me
I'm not tripping on that. They don't eat.
As
long as everybody eats. It doesn't matter.
Also, let me say this. That kid ain't about to get up there and make his own plate.
Once they get old enough, they are.
Your 5-year-old is not about to go up there and make his old plate.
What 5-year-old y'all kids don't make plates at 5?
Oh, you letting Dave and Darius come in your kitchen?
Girl, I'm about to go in the bathroom.
It's still
my 5-year-old
they
Go straight out the bathroom. Right.
Your 5-year-old make a plate.
I ain't got no 5-year-old.
I'm just saying.
You washing hands. I don't know. You look, y'all. Difference of
opinion. We didn't want to.
The important things is balance. Yeah,
mental illness.
We talking about re-raising
mental illness.
The mental illness. Oh yeah.
It's levels to it. It's like what you were saying. Okay, say we had a barbecue. It's a lot of food around.
Yeah.
Or if you're having a party and the game is on and you fix your man something and then you fix the kids something after, that's
no
different.
Big deal.
But it's like if we're putting it in context, it's like a real situation. Say if it's a situation where it's like food, it ain't that much food. If we struggling, we going through something. It's the man's job to make sure the woman and the children eat first.
Exactly.
Because he's supposed to be the provider.
Bam.
So that's basically what you know what I'm saying? The thing is, just like your mother said, put the children first. That's what I'm just feel like as a real man. You're gonna make sure your household is taken care of first, which is the women and the children.
Understood. And that's my being the leader of the household
before you even come
with
home
my husband. Yes, I'm gonna make sure that my husband is taken care of because he's taking care of me.
Because you're rewarding him as being that provider, and he's the partner. So I understand that.
Exit left.
So it just depends on the situation and how we look at it.
Yeah. We agreeing, but we agreeing and disagreeing at the same time.
We all are. That is true.
That's all. But that's why I like this.
Well, being married,
yes,
have been married.
I'm
currently divorced. Okay, but I can say that in a lot of my relationships in the past, that was really one of the things that people say about me. If they talking about me, they was like, look, her kids come first. She does not play about her kids. So when people come in, they already know. Like, my kids aren't going to disrespect you or
not intentionally.
Not intentionally, and it's not like they get free range to be disrespectful. That's not true at all. It's just that my children are a priority, period.
And I
just be like, y'all, I see a lot of parents put all this stuff into their kids, and then these kids, they just leave or do stupid stuff, then they gone, then you just... Yeah, y'all to stress this person out to the max, and now you just by yourself.
The age plays a part too. But the same with a man. You got grown ass kids that's just crazy. That's
same thing. But I just look at, like I say, I've always looked at it differently. When people ask that question, if your man or your husband or who you say first, like I can't. Those are things that I pray I never have to deal with.
Well, once you get married,
I don't feel like we give enough respect to the male dynamic in relationships. I don't feel like people respect men. You can't have kids. You can't have children without a man. You can't have. Y'all both need each other to create life.
Yeah, but if it's something where we drown in,
that's just how I look at it.
As a man myself, I would want you to
it's
save
the
the
way
child
before
saving me. Anyway,
some men, not all men are like that.
Not all men.
So
but let me tell you,
ask
every. I'm sure if you asked his baby mama or his ex-wife or something, he all kind of But to you, he a great guy, but to somebody, he ain't shit.
Well, ask me.
I can't say about none of my exes that they wasn't no good because that's on me. What did I say about me that I dealt with a person that wasn't shit?
Oh, guess what?
That's how I look at it.
Well, listen.
But what about when the kid comes?
It just didn't work out. All of my exes, we ain't together. It's
what about when the kid comes to you and asks you the same?
If you dealt with somebody that wasn't shit, we not dealt with somebody that wasn't shit. We ain't dealing with them now.
Correct.
So don't say nothing about me and say, yup, she found out that nigga wasn't shit and walked.
But what is not shit? Okay, what is not shit to
What about a kid that come to you and be like, Mom, what was you thinking?
Shut up, G-Baby.
And I'm just like,
that's a whole different situation.
I'm sorry.
That's a whole different situation.
I don't know what's going on right now because
sometimes in your life, But sometimes, and not you don't do that to downplay the person that you was with.
No, here's the thing.
When y'all was together, everything was great.
No, it's not. So here it was.
Shall I rewind the tape? We have video evidence of the times that you was good.
How long
That's
was
outside looking in.
How long was it?
No,
how long was it though? Because guess what? After
I'm saying stuff come out her mouth. I can't say outside looking in. I'm saying what come out her mouth.
No, bullshit. You not listen, and this is and I can tell the truth, and I don't give a fuck. And this shit is live, and then he's gonna see it, and I don't give a fuck. But here's the thing: when I got pregnant, I'm like, damn, I kept him because I'm like, my god sister pregnant. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be pregnant together. I was young, I was stupid, we was retarded. Yeah, okay, cool. We had a baby, cool. Me in the first 5 years, his dad was the shit. Like, he was on point. He was taking care of him. You know, I had a whole village. My village was strong. She's a part of it. Her sister is, her mother is, her grandmother. I got a dog-ass village. And then, all of a sudden, this shit just, and guess what? I am going to say, he has dealt with different women, and I was cool, and I'm still cool to one of his exes right now, to this day. I deal with her sisters, her mother. I did her dead grandmother's hair in the casket and everything. But the one he with right now gave him permission to not work and do all of this stuff to not provide for his son. So my issue is you allowed that to happen for you not to be a great father. That's my issue. And before I know what you can be, but you allow someone to step in and allow you not to be.
And that is a very touchy subject.
He went over there today, though. My son definitely went over there today for the holiday.
And because he's old enough now to make his own choices.
Exactly. And I never told my son.
And you never have. You never told him. You never talked about his daddy.
Never said, do not fuck with your daddy. Don't do this. Don't do that. None of that. Anything he heard me say in front of them. In front of his parents, in front of everything. But again, my son has his own viewpoint on how he deal with his father. And I've never been a person like, you can't see him, you can't have him.
Right, you don't do that.
You give them their own road.
Hell yeah, and that's what you're supposed to do. So I'm sorry, that was my own rule.
Right, she had to have, I'm like, was we talking about mental illness?
Not yet.
Was you mentally ill? Is that when your dad, you saying?
Is that what your reason was? You mentally ill? Is that what it was?
That was my time.
No, you wasn't.
I was young and dumb. And
I'm saying things that happen in life that they weren't necessarily a mistake. Right, it's not a regret. It's not a mistake. It's not that he wasn't shit. It's just y'all wasn't meant to be together.
No, and we not. And
it just didn't work out.
Even talk because it sounds like he might have a little bit of it.
Yeah. Survivor's remorse or something.
But to speak on your topic, our topic of mental illness and the people that you deal with, and like we said before, like people use that as an excuse. How many times have you heard someone say, "Oh, you know, because of my childhood, this is how I am."
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know, the way that my mother raised me is the way I am today.
And you know what? A lot of us are like that until we become accountable.
That word.
We always blame our mama and our daddy, but in the reality, once you turn 18, if you know it was your mama and your daddy fault, get help for yourself.
Yeah.
You can't continue to use that as an excuse. Your mother did this to you. Your father did this. I was molested. I was homeless. You can't use that excuse. Now that you're an adult.
Look at Tyler Perry. He was homeless.
Right. Now that you're an adult, you have a responsibility for your own mental health. You do. You have a responsibility to take care of yourself.
Do you have a lot of people who come to you and be like, well, I didn't ask to be here? Do you hear that a lot?
No, you know what? I say that a lot because, you know, for a while, I was a big advocate for families supporting their mentally ill family members until it got to a point where, you know, I was in that position. You know, for many years, I had been supporting a family member who was mentally ill.
Okay.
And it wears on you. It wears on you. It's absolutely exhausting.
No one asked to be here.
That's exhausting and it's disappointing and it's
because I would always
it hurts your heart because when you love somebody,
she didn't ask to be this way. So I felt it was my duty to try to support her, fix her, and give her all the tools that she needed, and she does. She has every tool that she needs to be the best person that she can be. At this point, it's a self-determination project. She has to, realize that, hey, I have to go to therapy. I have to take my medication. I have to keep myself right.
And even when you do those things, it doesn't mean that the things, I kind of equate it to somebody being a crackhead. I hate to say it like that. But people that's on drugs, drug family members that's on drugs, and they steal from you, and you forgive them, and they steal again.
It's just
and
like
you forgive
that.
them,
Yeah.
and you still like. I don't know how many times you think I'm gonna have your back
Until they take
Until you
grandmama's,
take the wrong
grandmama's
thing.
wedding
Brooch.
ring. You know what I'm saying? You done took grandmama's
I don't know how many
brooch.
times. And that's the thing, it's a very manipulative disease.
It is.
It's a very manipulative thing because they pull on your heartstrings and you're like, I'm doing this, and you want to believe that they're better. And just one missed dose.
Yeah.
Or one, they think that they fine and don't need their medicine, and they go off of it,
Yep.
and then you start to see things
Because the medicine,
again.
all medication
The
is always
medicine
going to
is
make you
what
feel
they
better.
need.
Right. But what they don't realize is when they're feeling better because they're taking the medication.
That they don't
So
need
what
the
they
medication.
do is they'll take the medication.
You're like, okay, I feel
They'll be
good.
tip top.
Yeah. Like,
Back
I
to
feel
work,
great.
back to school, back to doing everything that they were doing, back to cleaning and, everything that fell off. They'll feel better. And in their minds, they'll say,
I didn't need this medicine.
let me try to maintain this
Yes.
myself.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
And
they go one day without
it's
it.
a
Okay,
powerful
I feel
thing.
fine. They
Yeah.
go a couple of days without, okay, I feel fine. Now they walking around thinking,
Because they didn't know.
I want to
how-
move to Miami.
right,
Because
thinking, thinking everything is good.
They
but
don't know
just
how-
all the while
They don't
declining.
know how much control that drug or whatever has
Yeah.
over them that's going to overpower the drug that you've taken to make yourself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So in their mind, it's like, well, okay, I took these pills and I'm okay right now, so I don't need it anymore.
And not to mention smoking weed on top of that.
Yeah.
Doing drugs or drinking on top of taking these medications.
Yeah.
It is mind altering. So
Well,
if
a
you're
lot
not
of people
ready
who are on
to
psych
understand
meds,
that.
and you can agree with this, they just opt not to take their meds.
Mhm.
They'll
That's
just
what I was
drink
gonna
and do
say.
drugs.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
won't
do
even
drugs.
take
They're
their
not even
meds.
taking their
Yeah.
meds.
In all honesty, we all have mental illness.
Hell
We
yeah.
are all bipolar.
Yeah.
One day you up, one day you down.
Yeah.
We just know how to handle ours better than
Exactly.
they do. We
Yeah.
don't need medication to handle ours. I
Yeah.
tell my clients, I do boarding homes for mentally ill and ill.
Mm-hmm.
And my clients say, but I'm bipolar. I say, and so am I. And I didn't take my medicine today. Go sit your ass the fuck down.
Yeah. And worry about it within yourself.
And they do
Yeah.
just that.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, mental illness is not a fucking excuse. You know right from wrong. So you can miss me with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to take your medicine? No problem. You a chain smoker. You won't smoke now one motherfucking cigarette today. They go take their medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
So
then
you
you're
just
gonna be
have
chill.
to be raw with it and leave it just like
Yeah,
that.
I love
I
it.
do not sugarcoat it with any of my
Yeah.
clients.
Because you
Y'all want to
can't.
act
They'll
like
run
kids?
over
I'm gonna
you.
treat you like a fucking
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
You want to be an adult? Do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not abusive.
It's not.
People
It's
look
not.
at that like
Absolutely
that's
not,
abuse,
because
and
you
it's
know what?
not.
I tell the family members, I tell the guardians, I tell whomever I have to deal with.
Mhm.
Listen, I'm not finna sugarcoat nothing for them. What I tell
Mhm.
them, I will tell you.
Yeah.
And as I'm cussing their ass out, at the end of it, I tell them, but I still love your ass. Now go
Mhm.
take your medicine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's all they want.
That's
They want to
important.
feel loved. A lot of times.
Because they done burnt out with their family.
They want
Exactly.
that
I
attention.
was
have
just
any
about
family.
to say that. A lot of times they don't have family
Yeah.
members. They done burnt the family out. The family done washed their
Yeah.
hands
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah.
they don't hear good morning, queen, hi, beautiful. They don't hear that. So when they do hear it,
They love it.
And
they
it's
love
sad
it.
because
They
when
love
you
it.
and when you give that as a family, because that's hard. Like we do that, and it's still, it's not.
You still get
still
played.
get played. So it's like, don't sit up here and act like didn't nobody love you. That's the
Exactly.
part. That's the phase I'm in right now with
Mhm.
with the situation with in our family. I'm just don't act like that playing the victim stuff. It don't sit well with me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It don't sit well with me. So I am more harsh and more aggressive because I know the type of person you are. And the first thing they say, hey, you don't know me. No, I don't
definitely
know
do.
you. No, I don't know you from the growing up standpoint because I wasn't around like that. We cousins, but we ain't each other like day by day. We wasn't
Mhm.
together every day.
Well,
So no,
guess
I
what?
don't know everything
I
that
don't know
you've
a whole
done.
bunch of my
Because if I'd
clients
have
until
known
they
what
come
you
into
was
my
doing,
houses.
you wouldn't have been doing half of the stuff you're doing if you would. No.
I don't know.
Because I didn't
my
approve a lot of the
residents
stuff that
until
she was
they
doing.
come into my
Right.
houses. But they have a whole different level of respect for me once they're there.
And you want to
Exactly.
know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Because you roll with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you
I
are
don't
raw
sugarcoat
with it,
with none of them.
and you a stranger
You a
who
Scorpio.
has not given
You
them
look
all
like
these
Capricorn.
chances. Well, me too.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because I have a friend who has a son who went through some stuff, and I told my son, bring him to me. And when he came in, I was laying on my couch. I said, come here. And he laid on top of me, and I just hugged him. I said, now tell me what's wrong. And he's talking to me. I said, I'm not letting you go until you finish this conversation. And just for me holding him all that time.
Because they don't have touch, yeah. Like,
he had so much to let go of. I'm like, just keep talking. Mm-hmm. Just keep fucking talking. Mm-hmm. And then when he was in, I said, so you fucked up. Because
I play with my residents.
You get what I'm saying? I love you.
I have an African American woman that wants to be a Caucasian woman.
Yeah.
And I have a Caucasian male that wants to be a black man. He went and bought him some hair dye. Some black hair dye.
Girl, and dyed his face.
And dyed his fucking self. The caregiver sent me a picture.
Dyed his face.
I said, see?
I
this is what I'm talking about. I said,
but these are things people deal with. This is real life, y'all. This is real life.
Listen, I deal with it all.
Yeah.
I deal with it all.
Because some people you can fix and some people you can't.
Because this is a choice. This is your career.
Yeah.
This is what you chose to go into. And this is what we need is professionals that can handle. Because Michigan does not have a good mental health system.
They used to.
It used to. It broke down. Broke down.
And when I tell you, this cop was so patient with one of my clients. I had a client, he was 7 foot tall, 300 pounds. And he just kept running up on the caregiver, kept running up on her. So she called him. I went around there. He had a butter knife. He was in there cooking him something in the microwave. And he ran up on me. I say, don't try it. I'm going to fuck you up. I promise you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow you to hurt me. After I slung his big ass across that floor, he laid there and said, you ain't supposed to hit no man. Oh. I said, how many times I tell you get the fuck out of my face?
And that's a rare instance, though. We're not advising anyone to do that.
Yes, you do.
No, we're not advising anyone to do that.
You are not.
Defend yourself, yes, but everybody.
You don't know. And I did not sugarcoat it when the cops got there. When the cops got there, he ran up on them.
You better butter knife. You better spread that butter all over me.
He ran up on
them. Y'all be careful is what I was meaning. Everybody, y'all ain't all big and bad.
And I had never seen that with the police ever in life. That officer was so amazing with him, and I said, y'all need more officers like this.
Yeah. Some other officer would have shot him.
Exactly. Because he go this 7 foot tall man just running up in his face. He's like, sir, stop running up on me now. Come on. What you like to eat? He talking.
He was talking to him.
And well, okay, we're gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna get you some chicken if that's what you want. I'm gonna go get this chicken for you. He put his hands right on behind his back, got in that car with them. When he got to the hospital, he climbed on everybody else, but he did not climb on that officer.
Yeah,
he climbed on everybody else.
Because again, that's just like with kids. Like you gotta know because kids know who they can fuck with and who they can't.
Exactly, and that's all it is. That's all it is.
My niece and my nephew, to this day, I don't keep them because they parents know when they come to me. TT gonna get them together.
Exactly.
Ain't no. You ain't gonna tell me no. You ain't gonna tell me I'm doing this. No. You gonna sit your ass down.
All that talking back. I don't understand that talking back.
Me and my little girl, we had a talking back thing, but I can say she has enough. She never tried to put her hands on me. Like I done got in the middle of her fighting in a manic episode, and she done reached around me. She had enough sense.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like it's a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like you know what you're doing.
It's definitely a choice. If I'm taking your cigarettes away from you, now you gonna go take your fucking cigarettes. You could have just did that. You gonna go take your medicine. You could have just did that.
Stop playing with me.
Right. Why I gotta take your motherfucking toy?
Why are we playing this game?
Exactly. Okay, you want to play? Let's play. I'm playing with you.
That's true.
So we've learned in this hour.
Don't fuck with a Capricorn.
I do want to say, how much time we got? We're about out of time.
Yeah, we got.
But I want to say, I do want to say,
we over 60
in closing that mental health is important.
He was just
absolutely
mental health is important.
Yeah.
You have the 800 number? You gonna put the 1-800 suicide line up?
No,
tell people what they can do.
Suicide line number. I'm not an advocate. I mean, not an advocate, but I'm saying that's not.
Mental health is important, though. No. Yeah, but for real, mental health is important. It's such a stigma in the Black community about mental health, and just give it a try. Just sit at one session. One
session can make a difference.
One session can make a difference.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely.
Having of course, I'm gonna always, like she said, relationship or having spirituality. That's not for everybody. For me, I scream in the pillow. I tell people all the time, that's my therapy. I scream in the pillow. It makes me feel better. That's just me. I pray, I meditate, and I scream.
I ride my bike.
And you have been doing phenomenal with that.
I have sex.
So that's why you cranky?
Yeah, I'm gonna get it tomorrow. I already made my appointment.
Well, I thank y'all for having me on. I'm gonna give my business a shout out before I go.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Before it start getting raunchy. This is about to get raunchy.
All right, check me out at ragdollsboutique.com. I'm also on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I make custom gift baskets for every occasion. They are absolutely gorgeous.
They are.
Nice. My baskets are beautiful. I have spa baskets and I have goodie baskets. And now I have the Father's Day boxes.
Yeah.
Which are $45. They are really nice. You can check them out on my Facebook page.
And I get that and I'll shoot it to Rico so he can put it in the thing.
Did you bring my basket to one of your shows?
I did not. Because you told me you wouldn't want me to.
Well, no, I said I wanted you to. We'll talk about
it.
Exactly. But I'm gonna send a couple of my baskets to Rhea's show, so I can get a quick little shout out.
Yeah, I need a
proper. So check out Rag Dolls, and if you like this, don't forget to like my cousin's YouTube channel.
There you go.
Share it, subscribe it, all that stuff.
Buy some tea, buy a hat, buy something. Do something. Support Black business.
Do something.
Happy Memorial Day, y'all.
To all the fallen soldiers.
Shout out to my dad, Charles White, my uncle Willie.
Yes. I mean, he's not a fallen soldier.
Well, he's not a fallen soldier, but still,
he's still a soldier.
That's why our uncle,
our uncle Albert.
I don't know.
Not Albert. I'm sorry, Ma killed me. She heard me say Albert. Norwood.
Hayward.
But I say Norwood. Where I get Norwood from?
I'm gonna pull it up.
Thank you. In our family, in our bloodline, my grandma's brother.
Oh yeah, it's a Memorial Day.
Was
my bad.
In the war, we still don't know a lot about his history. All we knew was that he went to war and he didn't come back. Like back then, they didn't give the family information.
What was that?
A lot of back in 1944.
Oh, that was
the end of the world.
Because I had some great uncles that passed.
You want to read it? And, you want me to read it?
You can read it.
Oh, okay. This is my aunt's post.
She just want to read it because it's my mom. Like, she just loves her auntie.
Today, my auntie wrote this.
To who?
Facebook.
Today is celebrated as Memorial Day. Well, the Angus family would like to honor our bloodline. Come this way. Yeah. The Angus family would like to honor our bloodline. This is my aunt. She said, my mother's older brother, Hayward Angus, served and lost his life while serving. He was born in 1926 and he began his service tour 12/07/1944. Searching his record with the government, his mother, my grandmother, Susie Angus, was never given all the information on the circumstances surrounding his death. No place, no date. All we know is he died serving his country to protect people. The Angus family, let's salute the sacrifices that Uncle Hayward made. Bless you, Uncle Hayward, for all you gave.
Amen.
So, amen. Thank you, Auntie, for putting that up there.
To all
I do have some great uncles that I do know about that passed away. My great grandmother's sons. She had a total of 8 kids, 1 girl, and 2 of my uncles died during the service, and they actually came to her doorstep for one of them and told him that he had passed and all of that. But salute.
So that's real,
uncles.
Huh? Yeah, that's not like in the movies.
Oh no, it's definitely real. She told me about that. My great grandmother was born in 1914, and that's like she raised me until I was 15 years old. She lived with me. Yeah, she did. She died at
1914.
She was born in 1914. She died when I was 14 years old. She lived a long time. She lived a long.
She was like 100-something.
She was
I gotta do the math later.
Let me give
okay, I'm 40. Let me tell you.
You're not 40.
I'll be 40. Well, I'm 38.
You got 2 years, right?
You're not. I'm sorry.
No.
In my mind, I'm 40. My body tell me I'm 40.
Jesus Christ.
Young.
I am.
You're 40. You're not 40.
No,
she's not even 40 yet.
I've been hanging with their asses for the longest.
She's been hanging with Robin, actually. I never hugged with her. She was too young for me.
I got pictures of don't come from me. She tried it. She never hung with me.
So before we leave, my sister got me this mirror. And I didn't know. I'm not not the sentimental one. My sister is very thoughtful. God bless her. I'm not. So this came in the mail the other day. So I was like, it's a mirror. Thanks. Because I'd be checking my face and stuff. And I was like, So I was like, oh, cool. Mirror. Thanks. So as I get up here to use the mirror to check my lips, I see the plastic on it and I see it's an inscription. It says to my beautiful sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because ain't it faint? You would have never seen it.
You can't see it's like a rose. That is so
right.
pretty,
To my beautiful
though.
sister.
She
Never
just
forget.
didn't care to read
Can I
it.
read it now?
Oh no, she interrupted me though. You just
No, I didn't.
You
Rewind
did.
the tape. Did
I?
You was.
And you stopped me.
I asked a question.
Same thing.
To my beautiful sister, never forget that I love you. As you look in the mirror, I hope you see what I see.
Oh, that was very sweet.
Thank you, sister.
That was
I love you. It's nothing like sister.
That's still my Robbie. That's Jaden's Robbie. She don't belong to you. She belongs to Jaden.
I just need to say one more thing.
Yes.
She's gonna say one more thing.
I know it was just one more thing. I forgot to give a shout out. A shout out to Platinum Graphic Designs. I told Charles North I would come in and give a shout out to Platinum Graphic Designs.
Charles.
Go over there
Hello.
and check out his website. He's got he's got his website up now where you can create your own t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
sweet.
that.
PlatinumGraphicDesigns.com. You can create your own t-shirt, your own design. See what kind of offers specials he has right now. I think he got something going on for Memorial Day, but check them out. Platinum Graphic Design. Make your own
Platinum
t-shirt.
Graphic Designs. I have all the information in the end.
Yep.
All right, guys. It's been lovely. Rico, you got anything to say? Quiet guest that didn't want to be on camera or on video, but got a microphone in front of her mouth.
I'm glad you put your 2 cents in, girl.
She had some good knocks. She's dropping some jewels, wasn't she?
That's my fellow Capricorn over there.
Yeah.
We appreciate
That's
you
my
popping
girl
up.
over there. Let me tell you, this is my
I
girl
talked best
over
when
here.
she came.
You know, Ren,
Well,
you don't
I
see me
didn't
with a
know
lot
we
of
was
friends.
Exactly.